Hello everybody, my name is Miyachi. I'm back, and I'm better than ever. No, seriously, I just recovered from a cold. Still have some videos in development for my main channel, but for right now I thought I'd remind all of you that this channel exists. So, another big YouTuber made a movie.
You shut the fuck up! You shut the fuck up!
Whenever some big YouTuber gets into the movie business, it always ends up as a mixed bag. Sometimes you get something really good, sometimes you get something really bad, and sometimes you get the Godfather trilogy. Or, if you're weird, the third trilogy. Recently, a YouTube icon, and no, I'm not saying that out of bias, made a big splash in the theatrical market with a film adaptation of the game Iron Lung, directed by and starring Mark Fishback, whom all of you know as Markiplier. I can't say much about the game itself because I personally have never played it, but I will say that I grew up watching a lot of Markiplier. I don't even need to introduce him since I feel that all of you know who he is.
Was that the bite of 87?
So I was really intrigued with this movie, even if I knew next to nothing about the source material. And even then, I still found myself really enjoying it. Just so you know that there will be minor spoilers that I will discuss, so if you want to go into this movie completely blind, hold off on watching this video please. Basically, the sub of this movie is one-to-one with the game, and that's about this guy named Simon, played by Mark, who's living in a post-apocalypse world after the events of the Quiet Rapture, alongside some other scientists who stick him in the submarine where he's sent down a moon that is an ocean of blood, where down there are some very scary creatures. Ooh. I feel like the one aspect that could lose a lot of people with this movie is that it takes place 99% inside the submarine, with Simon being the only on-screen character aside from a few scenes. And the movie takes its sweet-ass time, which I appreciate, but I can understand that it's gonna feel very slow for plenty of people. I mean, there were some points in the movie where my mind wandered off because not much was happening, so I can agree the pacing can be an issue here. I also feel like there are some points of the story that could have been expanded on, like why Simon destroyed the factory, and the ending kind of felt rushed and abrupt. That part might just be me though, and frankly those are the only problems I have with Iron Lung. I'll start by talking about my favorite part of this film, the acting. I'll clarify that most of the cast consists of voice actors since, again, all of the movie is inside the sub and it only focuses on one guy, and the only instances of side characters appearing in the flesh are one under 5-minute scene and brief flashbacks. But for who they did bring on outside of Mark, they did a pretty good job. Some names I recognize being Elsie Lovelock, who's known for playing Uzi in Murder Drones, and famous video game voice actor Troy Baker, who They even gave Jacksepticeye a cameo, which, by the way, they literally name him Jack. I would say it was nice for Mark to give his friend a cameo if it wasn't for the fact that Simon gave him super cancer with the X-ray camera. Of course, Markiplier plays the leading role of Simon. I know that might seem vain to some to have Mark both direct and star in his own movie, but he really knocks it out of the park. I think this really got me to realize just how good of an actor he is with how genuine his emotions feel in his flawless line delivery. If you watch some of his Darkiplier skit videos, then you probably have an idea of what his acting style is like here, just without the you know what I mean. Personally, I wish we got to know about Simon a bit more, but I still thought he was an intriguing character. Seriously though, why'd he destroy that factory? Something that really makes Iron Lung work is the claustrophobic vibes. Throughout the movie, you can see Simon slowly deteriorate both physically and mentally by the minute, cause he's trapped inside some small ass submarine for what might be days or something. I mean, yeah, if I was trapped inside the giant breathing stimulator converted into a rusty submarine for days on end, I would go insane too. You wouldn't like me when I have cabin fever. Don't ask. And the vibe is really captured by the visuals. I'm really in love with the cinematography done here, as the close-ups, angles, and lighting really grasp how uncomfortable the enclosed setting is. I also think both the practical effects and CGI were amazing. Mostly the practical because there were some points where the CGI looked like it could have used some work, but still really good nonetheless, and better than whatever people are letting Taika Waititi cook up. As an important note, this had a budget of $3 million, and for a movie made with that much cash, it looks really impressive. It's already made back over 10 times its budget at the box office because, yeah, it got a nationwide theatrical release when it originally wasn't going to, and I think it really deserves it. Iron Lung is of course flawed, as many directorial debuts are, but for what it is, I found myself really enjoying it. If you're a fan of the game, then I believe you're really gonna enjoy this because, from what I can tell as an outsider, this is a one-to-one scale adaptation of the game. But I also think this can be enjoyed even if you never played the source material. My biggest recommendation, however, is that you're probably gonna love this if you're a Markiplier fan or grew up watching his content, the latter being the boat I'm in. I admittedly have a lot of respect for Mark, and seeing how much his movie has achieved really makes me happy for him. He's been very open to criticism, and it gives me optimism that if he plans on doing another movie, he's gonna take it into account. So anyway, I'm gonna give Iron Lung a 7 out of 10. It could have used some improvement, but for Markiplier's first movie, this was pretty enjoyable. If it's playing at a cinema near you, I highly recommend you go see it if you have 2 hours to spare. But if you see Markiplier, run. And yeah, that's it. I was gonna have this out sooner, but I've been really busy with college and such, so apologies for the wait. Gonna try and have a new video on my main before the month ends. Alright, later everybody.